Today we've got an update on the development of one of the PS4's highly anticipated exclusives in Last of Us 2, as well as an update on Naughty Dog's structuring as a studio. Speaking of studios, Bethesda is expanding with a brand new studio. A very talented indie studio looks to be teasing their next game, and there's a great deal on a PlayStation 4 Dualshock controller. If you're interested in that, we'll cover that at the end of the video. First, let's talk about Last of Us 2 and the update on Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog put out a blog post, and it's an update from studio president Evan Wells. Let's go through the entire blog post. As stated by Evan Wells, it says, quote, "As we are kicking off 2018, we have some exciting news we wanted to share. During a recent all-studio meeting, we announced some well-deserved promotions. In recognition of his expanded role contributing on critical studio-level decisions, Neil Druckmann is now Vice President of Naughty Dog. He's been a vital part of the management team for some time now, and we're proud to formally acknowledge his involvement. In addition to his new position, Neil will continue as the creative director on The Last of Us Part 2. We're also excited to announce that Anthony Newman and Kurt Marganew, sorry if I butchered that, are the joint game directors on The Last of Us Part 2. Both Kurt and Anthony joined Naughty Dog during Uncharted 2 and have been instrumental in leading the design department, and have been key contributors on our subsequent games. Amelia Schatz and Richard Cambier are the lead designers that round out the extremely talented design department's leadership team." The post ended by saying, quote, "We have such an incredible team at Naughty Dog, and I'm always happy when I am able to recognize those who have made an outstanding contribution to our games and the studio. Please join me in giving them all a big congratulations." So those are just a couple of the names that are working on The Last of Us Part 2. We've got an update with Neil Druckmann now becoming Vice President of Naughty Dog. That is highly deserved. He is probably the most recognizable name that comes from Naughty Dog, and he's done an exceptional job with his prior work. It's pretty much a lock that The Last of Us Part 2 won't be seeing a 2018 release, but it does seem a lock to be a 2019 release, so that's great to know, and I'm sure Naughty Dog will put out yet another fantastic product. Congratulations to everybody involved with the game, and congratulations definitely goes out to Neil Druckmann, who is now Vice President of Naughty Dog. Speaking of studio updates, Bethesda Game Studios also put out a post saying that they have expanded with a new Austin office. The post says, Bethesda Game Studios, a ZeniMax media company, today announced that it has expanded development capacity for future titles by welcoming Battlecry Studios in Austin, Texas as a part of Bethesda Game Studios. Quote, "As the vision, scale, and ambitions for our games continue to grow, so does Bethesda Game Studios," said Todd Howard, game director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios. Quote, "As the vision, scale, and ambitions for our games continue to grow, so does Bethesda Game Studios." That was said by Todd Howard. He continued by saying, "We've had the pleasure to know the talented developers at Battlecry and knew we could do great things together. The studio over at Austin is staffed by a core team of seasoned industry veterans with experience developing AAA games. The studio will be managed by industry veteran Doug Mellencamp as studio director." So while Bethesda is synonymous with games such as The Elder Scrolls as well as Fallout, in reality, they've been publishing a lot of other very high-quality products such as Dishonored, which was developed by Arcane Studios. Hopefully, this new Austin office can also create something good. Time will tell, but considering the studio was just created, I imagine we won't hear exactly what they're working on for a little while. Moving on from that, Playdead, the studio behind the excellent Limbo and Inside, are teasing a brand new game. We don't know exactly if this is a tease, but Playdead put out a tweet saying, hashtag GDC18, if you are creative, passionate, and looking for a new challenge, please visit us at GDC South Hall booth number 135. They also attached a very ominous picture that harkens back to what we saw in Limbo and Inside. It's very dark. You guys can have a look, but considering that Playdead has created two of arguably the best games in recent memory, Limbo is a little bit older, but Inside is a recent release and it was an exceptional game, and they're very artistic, masterfully crafted, and I am very interested to see what Playdead can do next. Who knows if this will be a 2D side-scroller again? Maybe Playdead wants to do something a little bit different with their next title, but I imagine, especially with this picture, if it is leading to the next title, that it's going to be once again a very dark, atmospheric, and very much focused on creating an incredible ambiance. So we'll see what Playdead does next, but this picture is something to look at. And finally, for those of you looking to pick up a Dualshock 4 wireless controller, there's a pretty good deal on it over on eBay. Now, it is $59, which is about $10 more expensive than the Dualshock 4 typically goes for. However, this listing by Ant Online also includes a PlayStation Store $20 gift card, so you get the Dualshock 4 controller and $20. $59 is pretty solid. If you take away the value of the PlayStation Store code, you end up getting the controller for around $39, and that's pretty good. Still a little bit expensive than I would have liked for a Dualshock DualShock 4 controller, but nonetheless a good deal. Controllers are rather expensive these days. So check that out if you are interested as well. That is going to conclude this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about Naughty Dog's studio update? Neil Druckmann is now vice president of Naughty Dog. We've got some updates on who exactly is working on the game. Bethesda is creating a new studio in Austin. What would you like to see that studio work on? Would you like to see them take on an existing IP or create a brand new IP altogether? And what genre of game would you be interested in? What do you think about the image released by Playdead? And make sure you give that DualShock 4 wireless controller a look. That's a pretty solid deal. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.